Welcome to week 5, everybody, to the Crazy Sasquatch Pick'em Show. Pick week 5's winners and losers, talk about some fantasy league players, including the Crazy Sasquatch, most expensive card on the market, rated rookie. At any rate, guys, week 5. Week 4 recap. I took the lead a little bit by about 5 games over Brett. I only missed 2 last week, so 14-2 last week. That was pretty dang good, I thought. A couple more upsets. I didn't pick the Jets to win, nor the Giants. I think it was the 2 I picked. So, I mean, I don't know who else would have picked both the New York teams, no wins, both to win the same week. So, got me on that one. So, I'll move on to week 5. I'm going to throw in a few fantasy league players this week. It's Tuesday. I know a few guys got hurt over the week, through the week. David Montgomery and a few other players are dinged up mixing. So, throw in a few little tidbits of information here, what we found, or just being it's Tuesday, I know a lot more things are going to happen in the next 3 or 4 days, with guys getting traded or injuries and updates. Trey Lance may get the start for San Fran. We'll find out more here in the next couple of days, so a lot of interesting stuff. So at any rate, let's get started here on week 5's picks. So Rams at Seattle on Thursday night. Rams kind of got handed to them a little bit last week. Seattle seemed like they're clicking okay. I mean, they're not doing the greatest, but they're doing all right. I think the Rams are going to come back on here, guys. I just foresee the Rams having a comeback. Seattle's got some very good, fast, good wide receivers in Metcalf. But, Metcalf or Lockett's going to be tagged up with just Ramsey. Aaron Donald's going to be chasing down Stafford. Henderson's going to be back, so they do have a running game. Seattle, you got Wilson that can outrun some of these guys. Carson's looking pretty decent. Not a lot of fantasy league points, but he's, putting up, double digits almost each time. So this will be a close game. It's a good Thursday night game to start the week off. But I don't know, my suspicions, I'm just choosing the Rams for whatever reason.
Rams at Seattle. Rams are no longer undefeated. Seattle, their season is still unpredictable. I think Rams will bounce back this week, having a better offense and defense.
So, Jets at Falcons. Can Jets make it 2 in a row? Falcons pulled one off last week. Falcons might be finding their key players. Patterson, kind of wide receiver, running back, trick player. I don't know a trick player, but he can run, he can catch out of the backfield, doing a lot better than who's the Falcons' main running back?
Patterson.
No, I was talking about Patterson. Who's the other guy they got from the Bears a few years ago? Mike Davis. So Patterson's getting a lot more points than Mike Davis. Pitts, tight end for Falcons, is starting to come along a little bit more each week. What he expect to have a rookie the first few weeks. He's learning the speed of the game. Matt Ryan's learning some, picking him up. Jets, running game's coming together. Quarterback's learning. I mean, he's a rookie. I just think Falcons at home is going to pull this one off. Could be another close game. Couple, so-so teams, but I'm picking Falcons.
Jets at Falcons. Jets still are our team that in my opinion, not that impressive. It's really not an opinion at this point. Falcons, almost the same way, kind of rebounding in the season. I feel like this game could go either way, but I have a feeling Falcons will win.
New England at Houston. New England against Tampa Bay last week. I know they're at home playing Tom Brady, but dang, they look good. I mean, they about, if it wasn't for the doink with a few seconds left, they had to beat Tampa Bay. A lot on the line, a lot of emotions, but, New England's defense was looking good. Quarterback's, he's a rookie, but he's coming around. Houston, I think they're a little dinged up. Ain't got quite a great running game. I'm picking New England for another, actually a win this week and not a doink at the end to lose it.
New England at Houston. This game, at least for what I know, is not going to be pouring. But I do think New England is a better team overall. Mac Jones is looking very impressive. Houston, ever since they lost their starting quarterback, has been spiraling downwards.
Well, Miami at the Bucks. Last week was an emotional game for Brady, but they pulled it off against a very tough New England team. Miami's under backup quarterback. Doesn't have the defense New England has. Easy win for the Bucks in this one.
Miami at Bucks. Miami still has Tua gone, injured. I think placed on IR. Bucks, this very good team. May get a few more players back this week. Second week for Sherman. I'm giving them the win.
Eagles at Carolina. Eagles looked good for a couple weeks, and then they kind of puttered out a little bit. The running game, they got a couple decent running backs there. Hurts is looking okay for a second-year quarterback. Their defense is okay. Carolina, up to last week, I think they had one of the best defenses in the league, but they finally met a team which beat them, which exposed the defense a little bit. They had to run the quarterback, ran the ball in twice. Without McCaffrey, probably for another few more weeks. Carolina's going to be relying on a backup. Chuba Hubbard. Hubbard's going to be their backup. So a cheap rookie can get in there. But against an okay Eagles defense. But this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be like a 3-point game. But being at home, Carolina's just not the greatest without McCaffrey. I was leaning towards Carolina, but my instincts tell me Eagles.
This is the first difference. I'm a choose Carolina. It's at Carolina. Both teams have been impressive. Carolina have been more impressive, losing McCaffrey. Big hit to their team. But I think they can work around that, put in another running back, and still do the job relying on Darnold.
So Titans at Jacksonville. Titans that had neither one of their number one wide receivers last week. Derrick Henry he did what Derrick Henry does. Jacksonville, Lawrence looked okay. He's still learning. Tennessee's more of a veteran team. Not the greatest defense, but a pretty good defense. James Robinson for Jacksonville had some good running lanes. Did well. Excuse me. I just think Titans are going to find a way to pull this one off.
Titans losing to the Jets, I think. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they will be able to bounce back, getting both their receivers back, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Getting both their receivers back, I think I might give them a win.
So Detroit at the Vikings. Detroit's lost a couple really close games. They've looked good. Bears, I think, kind of exposed them last week, but Goff, whenever he plays the Bears, even when he was with the Rams, fumbles, turnovers, it just seems like the Bears have his number. A couple games before that, Goff was actually looking okay. They were just barely losing games. Vikings, they're getting the running back Cook back. He's probably not going to be 100%, but they got two really good wide receivers, quarterback that's pretty much on. Detroit's just not going to have the rush game that the team did last week to beat the Vikings. I think the Vikings pull this one off and give Detroit another loss.
Detroit at Vikings, Goff looked solid. Their offensive line, on the other hand, didn't look that good. I think allowed more than a couple sacks. I forgot how many. Their offensive line didn't coordinate. I can't find the correct word for that. They snapped it before Goff was even ready, got a fumble, and straight into the Bears' defensive line. Detroit is a team that fights, but I just think Vikings with Cook win. Green Bay at Bengals. Bengals is on a roll. Ever since the loss to the Bears, they've been winning. Green Bay, they've won. I think they've lost one game against New Orleans week 1. They've bounced back from that. Green Bay at Bengals. I feel like this game could go either way. But I think Green Bay is the safer pick.
Green Bay's pretty healthy with running back, wide receivers. I know they lost. Who's their deep threat?
Adams.
No, their deep threat. Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
Valdez-Scantling's on IR for a couple weeks, so they lost their deep threat. They still got Cobb. I mean, Cobb is back. I think Aaron Rodgers is still showing a little rust, inconsistency, still missing receivers here and there, but Aaron Jones and Dillon, both running backs, looking pretty well. Bengals, yeah, they're coming up and around and good. One thing that's hurting me that I'm not going to choose them is because Mixon is banged up and may not play. He is questionable or even doubtful at the moment. You got Chris Evans, rookie. He didn't have the same energy that Mixon had before we went down. I think the running game is going to be a little hurting, and I think Green Bay could take advantage of that, or will.
New Orleans at Washington. New Orleans has been losing to some bad teams, like the Giants. I think that game went to overtime against Washington. I can't think of the record right now. If you know it, you could say. I think their quarterback, Fitzgerald.
It's Heinrich right now.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. I thought I got mixed up with Arizona's pass wide receiver, but their quarterback did look solid against the game in the game before he first started. Again, a game which could go either way. Very unpredictable. New Orleans is very unpredictable with Jameis Winston. I'm giving New Orleans the win.
New Orleans has got Kamara. I would play him. Thing is, that's what Washington is going to go after, that front line with the players they have on that front line of Washington. I think they're going to stop the run. It's going to be up to Winston to beat them over the top. I don't know if they can. Heinrich for Washington is looking pretty good. Their wide receiver core is healthy. I believe the running backs are all healthy. They showed up pretty well last week. I just think New Orleans is still trying to find themselves yet, where the Redskins, formerly known as, has a better defense right now, a little healthier team. If they stop Kamara, easy win. I'm going to Washington.
Denver at Pittsburgh. Denver coming off a loss to the Ravens, breaking their undefeated streak. Pittsburgh keeps losing, and last week to the Green Bay Packers. Ben Roethlisberger hasn't looked complete. He hasn't, and
looks
he's been
old.
decreasing his value. Can't find the correct words. Denver, Teddy Bridgewater, he may be out.
Concussion, yeah, I don't know yet.
I think he will be. I can't think of their backup. Quarterback.
Lock. Drew Lock.
Well, he was pretty solid also. Pittsburgh. This is going to be another very close game. Could go either way. We'll go Denver.
I agree with Brett. This can be a very, very close game. Pittsburgh does not have an offensive line. Denver's pretty good at defense. My issue is Bridgewater has a concussion. Drew Lock has made some mistakes. You make a mistake against that Pittsburgh defense, they're going to make you pay. Roethlisberger, I don't know if he can stay on his feet, possibly hit some wide receivers down the field. If he can't, Denver's going to win this one. But I'm looking at Pittsburgh. They got the better defense right now, even though Denver's got a really good defense and gets the very poor offensive line. With Bridgewater out, Drew Lock, he's going to try to win his starting job back. It's his chance to shine, but I think Pittsburgh's going to be all after him. They were after, I think it was Rodgers last week. They're knocking him around a little bit. Aaron Rodgers is being Aaron Rodgers, making plays happen. I don't think Drew Lock can do that. It's going to be a close one, but I just think Pittsburgh's going to find a way on this one.
Bears at Raiders. From what I heard, the Bears are leading the leagues in sacks. Raiders, Jacobs is off that questionable list, and he's starting. The Raiders team in total have been an amazing team. Aren't they still undefeated?
They got beat last night.
Oh yeah, by the Chargers. So they did lose last week against the Chargers. Going to be a close game. Second week with Lazer's offense. Like last year when they had Laser the first week, he was still kind of keeping it like Nagy's play style. But then by week 2, when that passed, it switched and he got, I think, 3 or 4 30-plus games in a row on offense. This game, I think it would be very high scoring, but Montgomery is out. They have to switch him with Herbert. Cohen's still out. They have to switch him with someone. Most likely Herbert. But I think it's going to be a very close game, Raiders.
Yeah, I've been back and forth against this one. I mean, if David Montgomery and Fields starts this one, I think the Bears got a good chance.
David Montgomery's out, I think, 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, but Nagy is not giving any hints of who's starting. Is he still saying Dalton's his starting quarterback if healthy? Is Dalton going to start this? You got a little less mobile quarterback if he does. Fields can kind of make some stuff happen down the field. Raiders got a decent defense. They showed that against Herbert last night on Monday Night Football. He hit the tight ends, was hitting some people down the field. I think that Raiders secondary is where the Bears could get them. Montgomery not being in this game is going to hurt. I think the Bears could pick them apart. I think the defense for the Bears is better than the Raiders. I just didn't see enough out of the Raiders last night. I mean, there was some deep passes by Carr. I don't know. I just don't think. I think the Bears got to bring their A game on defense, but I think if it's Fields, the running back game may be hurting a little bit, but I think they can make things happen. I think the Bears are going to surprise some people if they do the right play calling and put in a quarterback they can get away from the rush, or I guess we'll see. Montgomery will hurt this one. This may change things, but I'm just leaning towards the Bears.
Browns at Chargers. Browns going off of 2 wins against the NFC North, the Bears, then the Vikings. Chargers defeating the Raiders, making their undefeated streak longer and cutting off the Raiders' undefeated streak. Chargers have looked very impressive, more impressive than I thought they would be. Browns, I don't think they have enough in the tank to defeat the Chargers.
Okay, Browns and Chargers. Raiders didn't have much of a running game. Jacobs was still banged up. Was questionable going into the game. Herbert looked good. He's got some potent guys on offense with wide receivers and Eckler. Browns got one heck of a defense. I mean, they've showed up, and that Browns defense is a tough defense. Browns have got 2 decent running backs that can pound and right down the Chargers' throats, I guess my key factor in this one is Mayfield. If he pass, get Odell Beckham involved, get some of these bigger playmakers involved. I just think the Browns' defense is going to be a little bit more than what the Chargers want to handle. Like Brett and I are differing on a lot of these tonight, but see what happens.
Giants at Cowboys. Giants coming off a win off the Saints. Cowboys, I can't remember who they won against. But Cowboys overall have been very impressive. Giants, even though they beat New Orleans, it was a Jameis Winston-led offense, gone into overtime. I think Cowboys, with their defense, will stop them.
Giants, Barkley's getting healthy. He's putting up the points. I guess what concerns me is Daniel Jones. I mean, he makes mistakes. He still fumbles. He still throws interceptions. That Giants defense isn't enough to stop the Cowboys' wide open spread, running and passing and everything they got. I'm going with the Cowboys in this one too.
49ers at Cardinals. Cardinals break the Rams' winning streak, an undefeated season. Cardinals still an undefeated team, very good offense and defense. 49ers, I'm not sure who the starting quarterback may be. I think Garoppolo is the starter right now. Both good defenses. I just think Cardinals have a way better offense.
49ers, Garoppolo, I'm hearing rumors he may try to start. It's going to be the next couple of days. We're going to find out how much he can work out. I've also read he may be out 2 weeks with leg injury. That's, Trey Lance looked very good coming into halftime last week. He threw 2 touchdowns and brought the 49ers back. They still lost, but to have a rookie step in at halftime and throw 2 touchdowns and complete over 50% of his passes. Sermon's running pretty good, taking a couple games to get going. I don't know I believe his name is Elijah, the other rookie, how healthy he's going to be, but Cardinals, they got weapons galore, 2 good running backs, 2 or 3 really good wide receivers, a quarterback. Their defense is coming around. Garoppolo's, not 100%. There's no way. Trey Lance, I think, gives them the best shot of winning this one, being able to run and throw. Just for a rookie quarterback to win against an unbeaten team, I wish him all the best, but I just can't see it happening in this game.
Bills at Kansas City. Kansas City winning after being the bottom of their division. Bills, I think they scored 40-plus points in their past 2 games. Trubisky ran for a touchdown. I just think the Bills are overall completely team. I don't know why, but Kansas City just looks not well coordinated. Hill's still looking good. Mahomes still looking good. They just haven't. They're a downgrade from last year's Kansas City.
So like Brett said, Bills are putting up 40-plus points a game. They're allowing. They've had 2 shutouts this year already with their defense. So they got a heck of a defense. They're clicking on offense right now. A couple good running backs, good wide receivers. Pretty well-rounded overall team with Josh Allen. Kansas City, they're just something missing. I know they signed Gordon. He's coming back. Hopefully he don't get banned again from the NFL for substance abuse, but I guess they brought him up today, so he's going to try to play another deep threat, but how quick is he going to be ready? Kansas City's got weapons. I just think the Bills are going to be more of an offense than that Kansas City defense can handle.
Colts at Baltimore. Is Wentz? I'm not sure if Wentz is starting. Is he?
I don't know if Wentz is starting or not. I don't.
Well, at Baltimore looked impressive. Colts are looking good this year. I don't think Colts had a very good rushing attack last week. Baltimore, they also have a very good rushing attack. Lamar threw very good touchdown passes, I think, to Marquez Brown. This whole side is very close games, but I think I'm going to give it to Baltimore.
Colts, like Brett said, I'm not sure about Wentz's condition, if he's going to play or not. They got Taylor, really good running back. I think the wide receiver core is still a little bit banged up yet. They're there, but Baltimore, they signed a bunch of veteran running backs. From what I understand, they just brought up the old Pittsburgh running back Bell. He's in the lineup now too with all these other running backs. They got running backs galore for along with Lamar Jackson to keep the ball in their hand and just run down the clock. Baltimore can pass it. You saw that last week a little bit. I think Baltimore's defense is a little better than Colts, and I think their offense is a little better also. So that's our week picks. Looks like Brett and I differ on quite a few of them this week.
5.
So 5. So it gives him a chance to catch me if I'm wrong on the 5 that he's not, or we'll see. But it's going to be an interesting week. There's going to be some close games. I know there's some injury updates. Being this is only Tuesday, that's going to come out in the next couple of days. But here on Tuesday night, this is what we're seeing from last week, going in, information what we see going into next week. So we will see what happens. We touched on a little bit of fantasy league players, may have good games. So, good luck. Have fun. Get any comments? Let us know about it. We'll post this on YouTube and Facebook, and go from there. So, thanks for watching Crazy Sasquatch football picks for Week 5, the 2021 football season. Can't believe it's already Week 5 already, everybody.